Hello everyone, Alex here, aka Purge Viral. So welcome to the show. I hope you're doing good. And I was just sitting in my car and I was thinking about this, even discussing with my friend about this. Like, how is it possible that our lives are declining, our lives are getting harder, but everything is getting more expensive? I feel like that's kind of a good question. So I was like, I'm gonna make a video about it, share my thoughts with you guys. And it's just like, I will not say it's a fact, but if I talk for myself, it's easier. I will talk for myself. I feel like everything in the United States, but like in the West in general, is getting more expensive. Meanwhile, our lives are getting harder, are declining. Like everything, we have to pay so much for groceries, like gasoline, like houses, cars, and we can barely survive. Or like for example, you have two people, like a mom and a dad, they're working their ass off, and they can barely pay rent. They can barely like raise children because everything is so expensive. And if you compare this with like let's say 20 years ago even, or we can go way back more, like 50 years ago, we didn't have this problem. You had like one guy who was working at the Ford factory. He could have 5 children. His wife could stay at their house to like work and cook and raise the children. And he could buy like a new car almost 3 years. How is it possible that now you always have to work for 20 years? You can barely buy a house. You can barely buy a car. And the groceries are so expensive compared to them. I was just thinking about this. And for again, this is just an open question. So if someone has an answer, feel free to share it in the comments. As well, if someone thinks I say something what's wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. Feel free to debate me. But isn't it weird that all the generations before us, their life was better than their parents' life, so the next generation was always better than the generation before, is what people used to tell me. So, for example, your parents had a better life than your grandparents had a better life than their parents. You get the point. And this generation now, they are like having a harder time than their parents, and that kind of sucks if you ask me. And I kind of agree with this fact. I mean, like, just you can see it like with all the price, or the example I just told you, that someone now, they have like two people have to have, like a father and a mom have to have a job, and they have a good job, and they can barely like raise children because it's too expensive. Isn't this like the downfall of the West, that we are declining, our lives are getting harder, meanwhile everything is getting more expensive? Where is all this money going? We are paying more taxes than 10 years ago. We are paying way more taxes than 20 years ago. But where's all this money going? I think I know some answers, but I probably can't say it here, and you probably understand what I mean. But it's insane, right? That we pay more and more and more. Meanwhile, our life is getting harder. I feel like in the West we're getting like kind of like, I would not say it, but like kind of like slaves of our own government. And then the government should help us, but I feel like the government is not really helping us. They're more like trying to like take more money from us, to spend it for themselves, and to spend it for all their wars and their ideas and all the support to other countries, if you understand what I mean. And it's just so sad to see that so many people are suffering. Meanwhile, they are like working their ass off. Like it's insane. Some people that someone can't have 5 jobs at the same time. It's impossible. I almost feel like someone has to have 5 jobs to survive. I spoke with this taxi driver. He was like working at daytime. He was working in this factory, and in the evening he was a taxi driver. He had like 3 hours to play with his children, to have like watch a movie with his children, and that's it. Is this really the life that we want right now? That we have 3 hours to like meet our family, to like play football with your children, just 3 hours, and the rest you're gonna work your ass off like a robot? I feel like this is something, and probably you guys, some people will agree with me, some people will disagree with me. That's all fine, but like, it's kind of weird that we are getting through this life, right? I feel like the more in the future we go, the better lives we should have, but it's only getting worse, if you ask me. And I think that's not good. It's just like, again, it's like a factor of like the decline of our lives, that everything is like getting a little bit worse than before. And I think it's we should change this, but I don't even have the answer. How is it possible that now everything is so hard and 50 years ago it was way better? And then you probably will, I get it as well. Probably people will tell me 50 years ago we also had problems. 50 years ago there were also things wrong. I get it, of course. I know it. I know this. But money-wise, 50 years ago, your buck was way more worth than now. Like now you can barely buy anything with $1, and back then you could buy a lot with $1. And of course, it has to do with inflation, things like that. But times didn't change that much, and our money changed a lot, if you understand what I mean. Anyways, I'm very curious about how you think about this. Like, why do you think this happened? Why is our dollar like not worth a lot anymore? Just open questions. And it's hard to explain me now. I get it. But you probably get the point, and I think people should talk about this more, because everyone just does it. Everyone just, okay, yeah, I cannot change it. And of course, it's hard to change at one person. But like, do we want to live in a country where we live like this? I feel like we're heading towards China, where we're working in factories 24/7 and we're not getting any money, and they are working less and getting more money. Of course, not now, but like in 50 years, they will be the United States, and the United States will be China, if you understand what I mean. So I think that those are like some things we should really work on. But anyway, just a random video, like nothing special. I just wanted to share this idea, and I'm really curious about how many of my followers think about some situation. And of course, excuse me again for my English. I know it's not the best. I'm trying my best. I'm literally trying day after day to learn how to pronounce words better, how to speak English better. I'm really trying. Please give me some time. I know it. Excuse me very much. It's not the best. I know this. I will do everything to make it better. So give me some time, and in 5 years you will probably not, or in 5 years, what the F did I just say? In 5 months, I will look at these videos and I will be like, dude, you can barely speak any word English. But anyway, you get the point. You're probably from the video I just made. I'm curious about your opinion. Share your opinion in the comments. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you really like this video, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And last but not least, guys, I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.